So, hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. And this is Farhad, and I have Sadik with me. Again, this is a joint collaboration between Popcorn Reviews and Filmactico Reviews. And the film that today that we are going to be discussing is Ajagajantharam, which is streaming on Vineeth. This had this had a theatrical release in the month of and it turned out to be a blockbuster in Malayalam cinema. So we have Sadik who would be sharing his thoughts on that. So Sadik, what did you make of the film? Straight up question: how was the film? And one-liner, if you could just summarize the plot for us.
Okay. So for me, Ajagantaram was quite a chaotic ride, and it's quite a wonderful film, because I don't know why, but it gave me a few vibes of Jallikattu, if you guys have seen it, because Jallikattu was directed by Liju Joseph, and the director who has directed this film was the assistant of Liju Joseph in Jallikattu also when Liju Joseph was making that film. So I think apart from those vibes, I really loved how they filmed it and how the chaos was unfolded. I mean, so now coming to the synopsis, I will just give a brief synopsis of this film. So it's based on the village of Aranjali. It is celebrating its annual temple festival, and the youth and some middle-aged villagers, they are under the influence of alcohol, and also the you know
Oh,
Lali supplies elephants for festivals that comes with an elephant for the first time in Aranjali, and he's a bit uninhibited and carries on itself with the ego. So suddenly there is someone who is trying to a bit hostile towards Lali and the elephant, whatever it is. So Lali gets annoyed and
yeah.
Lali kicks him to the ground, and that's how all these incidents start to occur. This is what I think was slightly similar with Jallikattu also, when all these incidents started, a chain reaction started with all that bull type events and all, and the bull created all of the chaos. So here also it's a bit similar that one incident creates a chain of incidents. So all these incidents then creates what a suspense or your thriller which is there. So we see all these things that are going on. So it's more of a mayhem which is unfolded, and which also forms the crux of the film. So yeah, this is what the film is all about.
Oh, interesting you say Jallikattu because that is exactly what I had written in my review as well, which you can all read on my site, Popcorn Reviews, the link of which will be in the description box below. That
Yeah,
I did get a feel of Jallikattu as well, although that was a completely different film. But again, it involved an animal, it involved, like you said, a chain of events that took place due to one particular incident. It also reminded me a little bit about Angamali Diaries
yeah, yeah,
and which also had Anthony Varghese in the main lead, both the films. In fact,
yeah.
Jallikattu also had him, and a little, very little shade of Ayappanam Kosham as well. The
Yes,
conflict that was there
yeah,
because
yeah,
of the simplicity of the concept,
yeah,
conflict rather, that
yeah.
was there. So that's what I felt, and I mean, I absolutely, I really enjoyed it. I mean. I enjoyed this film as well, and as much as I did Jallikattu as well as Ayappanam Kosham and Angamali Diaries. I think those were classics. This is also pretty good, although this did receive a little mixed reviews. So moving to the direction, and this is where it is the interesting bit, Sadik, that I wanted to ask you. Did you see shades of Lilo Jose Pellicer in the direction as well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely, absolutely.
what are
Because
your thoughts on the direction?
okay, so I also wanted to mention, because I was reading about it. So the title of the film is actually given by Lijo Joseph Pellicer, the title of this film. So, and there were exactly some shades of the style of filmmaking was a bit similar to that, because maybe because the director of the film was once an assistant of Lijo Joseph Pellicer. The director of this film is Tinu Pappachan. So I think he has collaborated with Lijo Joseph in the past, being an assistant and all. So maybe this is one of the main reasons why his style of filmmaking is a bit similar to that, because that's what I have seen in, you can say, I'm not sure the example is right here or something, but this is what I have seen in a few of Anurag Kashyap films. because Anurag was once not an assistant. I won't say directly assistant, but once was a writer for some of the Ram Gopal Verma films, because he once wrote the script of Satya. I mean, he was famous for that. So this is why I've seen a few shades of Ram Gopal Verma's style of filmmaking in some of his films, which I can say maybe in Black Friday, if I may be wrong, but
Earlier Ram Gopal Verma, you're
yeah,
saying.
exactly. Earlier Ram Gopal Verma style of filmmaking. I mean, in the term of darkness, I'm not saying that obviously the film is similar, but in terms of the darkness and
Filmmaking style.
yeah, filmmaking style, and also in terms of the darkness at times brutality also. So even though Ram Gopal Verma was not that brutal, but at times also. So yeah, coming back again to this. So the style of filmmaking was quite very similar to that. And yes, and not only the style of filmmaking. I mean, not limited to that in terms of story or script or screenplay, and also, but in terms of, you can say, lightning also, cinematography, and the style in which the camera angles are taken. So maybe that's what I observe were quite similar to that. Because this is why I'm saying there are very few, but there are some parallels between Jallikattu and Ajagajantharam. So that's what I've
Correct.
observed.
I also totally felt, you could see some shades. I mean, yeah, the sample size is very small for Tinu, but some shades of Lijo Jose Pellicer was there. Although the man is a legend himself,
Yeah,
so you cannot compare any of his work with the a new director. Basically, he's still finding his feet. I
yeah,
think he did a pretty commendable job. I think the subject had a very wafer thin storyline. Storyline, if so, for the viewers out there, if you are anticipating to watch this film for the story, then the story is a one-liner. It is wafer thin, but
I,
it is the screenplay that is, engaging and cerebral and action-packed and chaotic and carnage. All of the adjectives that we are using here is for the screenplay, and this is typical of Malayalam cinema, and this is why Sadik and me love Malayalam films, because they
absolutely.
pick very simple premises and they work a lot on the screenplay here. Uh,
Yeah,
they work a lot on the screenplay here. So, that itself was a very fascinating feature. Coming to the other technical aspects that are there, and I just wanted to, just ask you, Sadik, and before I share my views as well, what did you make of the cinematography, the editing, and probably the sound design here, the background music? What do you make of these technical elements specifically? Because I'll reserve my comments after what you say.
okay, so for me, the cinematography, specifically by Jintu George, it was really good. And I mean, the camera angles and all the technical details, I mean, all the technical, elements associated with it were really good. And specifically, when all the mayhem is going on. So I really liked it. And, I mean, the takes and all these, the style of, cinematography, I don't know why, but again it was a bit similar to Jellycuttu in that aspect. So, and also coming to the editing part, so the editing I also was very good. And I don't think the film really seemed to be that long. I mean, the overall
Yeah,
time, yeah, the overall time span was quite relevant. And which is always the case with Malayalam films, because they don't
absolutely.
tend to stretch it, because it was, I think, around 2 hours or something. So it was
Yeah, let's
around 2 hours or under 2 hours, not more than that. So
under to her.
yeah, it was under 2 hours. So this is also a good, and very essential aspect of it. So heads off again to, as always they do, with comes to that. And again, the music also was really good. The background music specifically, and the background music was by Justin Varghese. I'm not sure. I think
Yeah,
I've also heard his background music in other films also. I'm not recalling that, but again, his background music is always good, because I do recall some of his films, though I have not recall the exact name, but yes, there were the shades of the background music which I've previously heard in some films. So I mean, coming now again to the technical aspects and all these essential elements. So again, the music was really good. And obviously the cinematography, and I also wanted to mention about the color paletting and the lightning, and all these critical aspects that if, play an essential part of this film. So yeah, I mean these were really important for me, and they were done really
What
well because the film really relied on it.
Yeah. What I felt was that the background music was grungy, which actually went very well with the mood of the film. It was like nice and raw.
Yeah,
I love the way they use firecrackers at the end. I think that was a wonderful metaphor for
yeah,
chaos.
yeah,
It was
uh,
just like bottling up all the pressure till it was, escape. So that was a lovely metaphor that was used and beautifully shot. So the cinematography was breathtaking. It was absolutely fabulous here, full marks. And some of the frames were just so well captured. Again, the editing, as you said, was very crisp. I didn't feel a single dull moment in the entire 2 hours. Yeah, one thing I wanted to say that this was actually a big screen experience.
yeah,
It would have been an even better experience had we watched it on a very big screen, a theater 70 mm.
uh,
But now it is what it is. We did watch it on the OTT platform, Sony Live. So I mean, the screens were smaller. Maybe I may not have felt half the impact as much it would have been on a very, a theatrical viewing that is there. But at the same time, I absolutely loved it as well. So very quickly moving on to the performances. Who was your favorite character, Sadik? Instead of just discussing generally, who was your favorite character out of
ob-
the lot?
obviously has to be Lali. Was the character of Lali was obviously my favorite, and the anger that he has and the anger in which he's able to reflect it. I mean,
Hmm.
he was, for me, I think he was able to reflect it in a rightful way, because obviously he got what about the manner in which these hostile elections were taking place. So it was going along in his head, and he was able to had to do that. I mean, he had to take that action which was going on. So I think,
Yeah,
and apart from that, if talking about the character of, or bit straying away from the character, I think, there was, when it comes to, the incident that were taking place. So, when we see sometimes there is a political rally, or, some social issue that there is going on. So we see some tragic violence, or, some, hostile event taking place. So this was also evident here, because such events do take place at times. So, I mean, this was also evident here, and it was shown in a very realistic way. So this is why I think, apart from Lali, the other characters were also able to do that very well. I mean, the performances when it comes to that, because I think it was done in a very realistic way, and the manner in which also, the fight or the conflict was going on. So it was quite relatable, because you see, because being in a Karachi, I mean, I'm from the city which I belong. So I myself have seen many conflicts like these in political rallies, and or whatever, tragic incidents do take place in a very big environment. So yeah,
yeah.
I don't know why, but this film reminded me of such events which I've seen in the past, and there were some horrific memories associated with it. So yeah, that's why it
So
was quite relatable.
yeah, so absolutely, and even I like the dark humor that was created. Like the police he was taken to, he's saying that this is that person that is there, and he said, "Yeah, hi, hello,"
Yeah,
but he was surprised as they catch him.
exactly,
That
exactly.
the dark humor is also very well done. I also enjoyed the performance of Arjun Ashokan.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
was also in Janeman. He was in Maduram. I think this is the third movie of his that I am watching, and he's one actor that now I have an eye on, because of so many good performances that he has given in the recent past. I will probably be visiting some of his earlier films as well. I don't know how many he's done. I've not yet watched,
yeah,
but I really loved his characterization as well. Although he was one amongst the many others that was there, he stood out, and I agree with you that somewhat sympathy that was there. Was towards the character of Lali, which was played by Anthony Varghese,
yeah,
and that is primarily because you can make out that there is like it's being stretched a little, and there is this. he's also taking care of the animals. So naturally, there's some level of sympathy that is there with him. That was it. So, Sadik, what would be your overall rating for the film?
So I'll go with a 3.5 out of 5 for this, for because I mean, primarily my reason for going with is that it is a righteous display of unchecked aggression, which was evident in the film, and the manner in which they have shown the chaos. I mean, that was commendable. And apart from that, the performances and the realistic manner for which the Malayalam cinema is always has now become quite famous and synonymous. So yeah, this is why I'm going with a 3.5 out of 5 for this.
And my rating, which you will also find on my site, Popcorn Reviews, do visit the my site as well and read the whole review of it. Link of which is in the description box below. My rating is 4 out of 5. I think I absolutely loved it, and I'm also a fan of culture. So it got me interested instantly when I think even Sadik, I can speak for Sadik as well. He's also a fan of culture. We aren't fans of religion.
Yeah,
In
absolutely,
fact, if
absolutely.
anyone talks about religion, then you've just lost us. But if anyone talks about culture and this is what happens in our area,
Yeah,
so that's when we get interested. I think Sadik is also same. Like we
same,
are on the
same.
same page as.
Always, always.
So I got to witness that Puran festival that was there, which I was reading about it after the movie, and it is actually annually celebrated in some temples across the state of Kerala, in some parts of Kerala, and
Uh,
that was something new. Yeah,
the village of Aranjali, was that was I was reading about it.
yeah.
It's
Aranjali is in the film, but otherwise, also in some
ah
other parts of
yeah,
Kerala, also the festival is followed. Some not with the animal is what I've read. I don't know. You can let us know a little more in the comment
yes,
section. We are
yes,
interested. And
yes,
this is something new that I witnessed. I didn't know about this. So
yeah,
thank you Malayalam cinema for introducing us to this festival. And there must be so many other things that we don't know about sitting here. And movies are our only medium to get to know this. But
absolutely,
any which way, the culture part does excite me, and whether it's any language, I mean, it need not only be from India or Pakistan or anywhere. It can be like somewhere in Korea or Africa. Any culture that is there,
absolutely.
it just excites me. So that is my rating, 4 out of 5. I absolutely loved it. Malayalam cinema is in red hot form this year again.
Always, always. Yeah.
So
And this was the
yeah,
last film of 2021, and they literally,
yeah,
signed off with a bank.
on a high.
Literally. Like literally with the
So
bank.
So imagine, just interesting you say that because the last weekend saw Minal Murli that had released, it saw Madhuram that had released, and it saw this movie. So three blockbusters in one weekend. I think there are a couple of others, Meow, which I think didn't work, and another one that I'm missing. It starts with K. But
Ah,
and we hadn't heard about this film as well, so we would just like to thank our viewers
uh,
for constantly putting in suggestions that
uh,
we should watch this film. I would not have otherwise watched this film. So thank you for letting Sadik and me know. And please, if you're watching on Popcorn Reviews, please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share the video. If you're watching the video on Filmco Reviews, then please like, share, and subscribe the channel as well. And I personally had a great time discussing this film. I mean, this is a special film, and do let us know if there are any other hidden gems that you would like us to unearth and discover, and would like a discussion besides the new releases.
it's almost a wrap up from my end. So I've also provided a description from of Farhad's review on in the description box, so you can check it out, and you can also check out Farhad's channel in the description below, Popcorn Reviews. So thank you so much, guys,
Reviews with
for
a double S. In
yeah,
case there is a problem searching for the channel, it is the site also has a double S. Reviews has
yeah,
a double S at the end. The channel name is also Popcorn Reviews, double S at the end. So in case you're finding it difficult, do so, you know,
yes.
search with a double S.
Exactly, exactly. And guys, thank you so much again for your consistent feedback and also supporting us. So, and I will also like you to request that you can also provide your valuable feedback and comments in the comment section that is provided below, and you can also recommend us what films that we can review in the near future apart from the new films. So thank you so much again, and thank you again, Farhad. So I would like
Thank you.
you guys to please like, share, and subscribe our channel. So thank you so much. Bye.